Well, hello, and welcome to, or welcome back, whichever applies. If you're new here, I watch a movie and I sit down and I just ramble on about it. No script, nothing like that. One take, no jump cuts. It is what it is. Going for that raw and unfiltered kind of situation here. So, I thought I was done being sick. I think I'm still sick. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's been what, like a month already? Good times. Must be like pneumonia or something. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. I took a Lawson, so hopefully I'm not coughing my ass off. I don't know. You don't care about this, so why am I telling you that? What did I watch today? Well, I watched a movie called Alone, which is a little bit confusing, so let me narrow it down. Alone from 2020, which is also apparently a little confusing because there were a couple of movies called Alone that came out in 2020. So this is the one about, well, there's the poster, so that's the one. Wow, brilliant. Anyway, spoiler alert, you know the drill. I'm going to be talking about things that happen in the film and such. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can skip ahead on a little timestamp thingy to the thoughts section, or just jump right ahead to the ratings section if you just want to know what I think it is out of 10. Anyway, shall we begin? So, we're introduced to a character by the name of Jessica. She is our protagonist for this film. She's packing up some stuff in a U-Haul. She's moving out of the city into some smaller town in Oregon. It's never specifically said where, but we need to get her driving through the Pacific Northwest, so that's what we're saying. Maybe it is said. I don't know. I missed it if it is. Anyway, the film comes in chapters. So there's 5 chapters, and the first one is called The Road. So chapter The Road goes a little something like this. So she's driving through a more secluded area. There's only 2 lanes, one going one way, one going the other. So to pass cars, you got to kind of be careful and whatnot. And lo and behold, there's a slow vehicle. So she's waiting behind it, looking at her watch or the time or whatever, and is like, hey, this is taking forever. So she eventually pulls out around the guy to pass him. And she has a U-Haul trailer behind her car. So it's not a truck. It's like one of those ones you attach to the trailer. So she's like extra long vehicle, and she speeds up to pass this. And then this guy in this Jeep SUV, he also speeds up. And then we see an oncoming 18-wheeler semi-truck. So that's not great. So she's honking or whatever, or the semi's honking, and she's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So she really puts the pedal down and just barely squeezes through and survives. Awesome. Then what do we get? This asshole in the Jeep decides, okay, well, now I'm going to basically hug her ass and honk. And eventually there's a turn off, so she turns off and he goes flying by. It's like, what the fuck? Why weren't you going fast like initially? And you also almost killed me, whatever. Anyway. No more asshole, so that's great. So she pulls into a gas station, she gasses up, and she calls her dad, and, there's something on her mind. It's not revealed yet, but, I mean, this is the spoiler part anyway, and it's not like a huge spoiler thing, so... Well, kind of. Okay, maybe I'll wait. Anyway, it's not revealed what she's upset about, but the parents are worried, and she doesn't want to talk to the mom. That's why she called the dad, and... Dad's like, save money, call the home number. She's like, yeah, I just didn't want mom to freak out or whatever, but I already left. And they're like, oh, well, what the hell? We were supposed to come tomorrow and help you. And she's like, yeah, well, I just felt like going now, so there you go. Well, you should have come and told us. Well, I didn't. Okay, well, you're okay, though? Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. So that's fun. And then the Jeep pulls in to the gas station, but doesn't stop, just sort of pulls in, turns around, and then leaves again. Okay, cool. She's at the motel, and finally, I guess she's calling it a night, and her mom calls. She ignores her mom's phone call and whatever, and she's looking at pics on her phone of, like, her and her husband, so clearly there's an issue there. She starts crying, right? Again, we find this out later, but anyway, I'll leave it as a mystery for now, because hooray, right? Next day, she's about to leave, and guess who's also staying at this hotel? That stupid-ass Jeep is there, and she's getting ready to go, and then there's a knock on her window, and startles her, and she's like, huh? See some guy with like a mustache and glasses, whatever, and he's like, hey, do you recognize me? And she's like, no, should I? And he's like, yeah, I'm the one like on the highway the other day. I wanted to apologize, blah, blah, blah. I was looking at text messages or some shit, just some excuse, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I realized I was late, and that's why I sped up, and I'm so sorry, it must have scared you, eh? And she's like, yeah, it's all good. He's like, okay, well, I'm in the area. He's like asking her questions like, what's your name? Where are you going? And she's giving him kind of just like not super obvious answers, whatever. Tells him her name though, Jessica, whatever. Like, what harm can that do? Anyway, he says, yeah, so okay, well, I'm in the area, so I'll be seeing you at some point probably. And she's like, okay, bye. And then she takes off because, yeah, I mean, like, who are you? And she's kind of dealing with shit. She doesn't want to talk to people, barely wanted to talk to her own family. Anyway, then she sees the Jeep, like, after a couple hours of driving, there's that Jeep again, and it's kind of diagonally blocking both lanes of the road as much as it can. She's like, oh, okay, this is kind of fucked already. So she pulls up and stops, and the guy pokes his head around, and she goes to, like, move around him, and he goes in the street to block her, and she's not going to run him over. And he's got, like, a cast on his arm, and he's like, yeah, like, can you give me a hand or something? And she's like, do you want me to call you a tow truck? That's fine. He's like, no, that's fine. I just need help pushing the car off the road. And she's like, how about I check the GPS? And he's like, what for? And she's like, to see if there's a gas station I can go. And he's like, no. It's really fine. Like, I know where it is. Just, you know, I need help getting this off the road. And then if you can give me a ride there, that'd be great. She's like, yeah, I can't. Anyway, she has to basically forcefully tell him, like, fuck off. Sorry. And she takes off. So that's fun. I'm starting to get a little sus now, right? Because how many times are you going to see this Jeep? Anyway, as she's driving, it's nightfall already, and you see lights in her rearview mirror. So she panics. She's like, it's this fucking guy again. So she calls 911. She explains to the operator, this guy's following me, and like she doesn't know where she is and whatever. But anyway, the thing passes, it's not him, and she's like, okay, well, sorry, it's a false alarm, and they ask for information. They patch her through to a deputy or something to just at least tell her story for it on the record. Whatever. We cut ahead a little bit. As she's driving, her car starts veering crazy on the road just randomly. Turns out one of her U-Haul tires blew. So like that trailer or whatever, and she ends up like in an angle in the ditch. She gets out and she's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And she looks and there's a big slice mark in her tire. Pardon my language, by the way. I gotta stop casual swearing. Or do I? Anyway. Big slice in the tire. And guess who pulls up at that exact moment? Yes, it's everyone's favorite mustachioed friend. I can't remember his name. They say it at the very end of the film, but like, whatever. It doesn't matter. So Dick Nuts pulls up. And he's got tire iron in his hand. Smashes her window out. She scrambles into the car, I should say. Then he smashes the window out. Forces himself in the car. She struggles, so he like punches her in the face, so she's out of it, and then puts a needle in her. Shit. Okay. Now we get the next chapter, which is called The River. Sorry, brain fizzle. I'm like, should I, like, when I'm editing this, at least put like text that says like the title? I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Probably not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, The River. So she wakes up in like a basement, and the windows are all barred up, and she's barefoot for whatever reason, so that's kind of creepy. Guy's into feet, obviously. Maybe it's Quentin Tarantino, I don't know. Anyway, she's there literally all day. Nightfall comes, and he finally comes and checks on her, and she begs, obviously, like, please let me go. I'm not going to tell anyone. He's like, do you really think you're the first person that's ever said that to me? Take off your clothes. So right away, ew, gross. She's like, I have to go to the bathroom first. And he's like, okay. So he turns, so I guess she can go in the corner or something. And that's when she makes a run to the door, but he catches her and knocks her down. And then he like is all creepy cuddling up to her, and he has her phone. And he's flipping through the phone and saying, oh, who's this? This your husband? He must be worried about you. And then he sees that she has a wedding ring around her neck on a little necklace or whatever. And he says, oh shit, you know, did he leave you? And she's like, he's dead. And anyway, we find out that the husband committed suicide. So that's a deep subject. Should I have said a trigger warning for that nowadays? Probably I should have, but oops. Anyway, there you go. Trigger warning for the past that you already heard. Whatever. Anyway. That happened, and so obviously that's why she's very, very upset, which is completely understandable, rather. Anyway, I guess after that little thing, he's like, okay, well, I can't assault her. She's suffered enough for now, so we'll call it a day. He leaves her and locks the door, I should say. And then, anyway, the next day, she wakes up, and he leaves or whatever, and she says, okay, now's my opportunity, and she goes, fiddles with the door. For whatever reason, he left the key in the door on the other side of the door, and it's one of those really old school locks where it's like not like a modern key with all little janky things in it. It's like, one of those two-prong old, I don't know what you call them, keys. So it's in the door, so she's looking around. There's a nail sticking out of the wall, so she gets it out after a little bit of a struggle, has to use like her clothing around it so she can get better grip, whatever. Anyway, she gets it out, picks the door, puts her sweater under the door so the key falls on it, pulls it in. There she has the key, gets herself out. Perfect. Fantastic, right? Well, obviously he didn't go anywhere very far, because as she's in the kitchen, he pulls up and starts heading to the kitchen. So that's great. She hides in like the pantry or something, and he makes himself a sandwich with I think it's he eats like a really, really cheap charcuterie. Like, he's got a block of cheddar and I think some of those little pepperoni nubs or whatever. I mean, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that. Those are good. It seems like a shitty lunch. Anyway, we get a call on his phone, and he talks to who we find out is his wife and child. So he's a married man with a little bit of a side hustle of kidnapping and doing whatever he does to random women. So that's cool. Family's completely oblivious anyway, but keep that little thing in our heads for a little bit, because it'll come into play eventually. Anyway, he's lying to the family, saying he's there for work, and there's some business deal that it's taking a little longer than he expected, whatever, some bullshit, so we can, assault and or kill this poor woman. Anyway, as he goes to check on her, she makes a run for it, and he gets there and realizes, oh shit, she's gone. So he chases her out into the woods, and she gets a puncture in her foot, so it's like in there pretty deep. Like, I got a barbecue lighter here for some reason, but it's perfect. So that's about the size of the stick, and it's in her foot about that deep in the sole, so she gets to pull that out. Why do I have a barbecue lighter on that one? It doesn't matter. Anyway, maybe I strategically put it there so this review would just be so great. Anyway. Getting sidetracked. Sore foot, awesome, shitty times. She ends up getting her back up against like a river with rapids as he comes around the corner, and she looks at him, looks at the river, chooses river, because, I mean, realistically, yeah, she gets washed up somewhere, and good times. Then we get our next chapter, the rain. Fun. So what is the rain, you might be asking? Well, she's wandering through the forest. She got the stick out, by the way, just for a little fun little fact. She's got like a makeshift walking stick out of a giant branch to relieve pressure from her ouchy foot. She hides behind a tree when she hears footsteps, and she's got her little massive ass twig ready. Whatever. And she hits the guy as he's coming around, but it's just some dude. Some hunter named Robert, apparently. Is just in the area, so that's great. So she immediately is like, oh my god, you have to help me, this guy trying to kill me, blah blah blah, tells the whole story. He's like, okay, a little wary, but he's like, you know what, this girl looks really like legitimate. What happened to your feet there? She's like, I got a puncture, whatever. He's like, okay, well, come to my car, I've got a pair of boots you can wear, they're my wife's, whatever. Gets in the car and they're driving. He asks her if she's hungry, gives her a sandwich, which is like goat cheese and honey. Is that a thing? Well, it is for Robert, our hunter. So she wolfs that down, because she probably hasn't eaten in like 2 days or whatever, or a day, or whatever amount of time it's been. I don't even remember. Got some water, it's great. And then all of a sudden, boom, the dirt road is blocked by a massive tree. So they're still in the middle of the woods, by the way. This massive tree is knocked down. She's like, shit, that's him. And he's like, well, for fuck. She's like, is there another way out of here? He's like, I don't know. Like, this is the only road I've taken in here. Anyway, that's when Buddy pulls up, and friggin' Dick Face here. I'm just gonna keep giving him dick names, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, Dick Ass is like, oh my god, Jessica, thank you so much for finding her. And anyway, he tells this whole bullshit story about how, like, she's his sister, and she has, like, trauma based on her husband's suicide, which, shit, sorry, trigger warning again, I guess. The trigger warning blew my own brain up, apparently. Let's restart. So he shows up and, yeah, tells the story about she's his sister who has trauma from that the husband did, and that every time there's, like, a trigger, she, like, lapses and loses grip on reality or something, and she's like yelling like, oh my god, like what do you, you're have me locked in it. So Robert's sitting there like, which do I believe? Like, this guy seems legit, he knows her name, etc., etc. And eventually he kind of like freezes, like, what do I do? And this guy approaches Jessica and starts escorting her to the car, and she's obviously fighting, and he's like, okay, hold on a second. And she hits him and runs, and he has the gun in him now. So it's like, okay. The guy's like, can we like deal with this? We gotta go get her. Anyway, he's like, she has a point. I think I'd like to use your cell phone. His cell phone's broken, by the way, because when Jessica hit him with that tree trunk or whatever, it broke his phone. So he says, I'd like to, get on the phone and call the police to make sure that everything is legit. Because apparently you just said you were on the phone with the police. He was on the phone with someone as he pulled up. Anyway, he's like, okay, no, that's fair. He tosses the phone, and I guess he fumbles it and gives Dick Prick enough time to... That was a weak one. Enough time to tackle him, and he like punches him full force in the head a couple times, takes the gun and just aims down, boom, done. Cool. So that's that. Anyway, he also, as she's running away, sees her and fires one shot, which grazes her, or shoots her. I can't remember where it hits her. Is it in the shoulder or like the side or something? It's not fatal, but like it'll bleed out, which, One moment tea break, very important. Fish. Sure. So anyway, that's great. She comes to an area where she's hiding, and like he's taunting her and saying things like, I know I hit you, I know you're around here. There's probably about 2 hours till you bleed out. And he starts going on about like the husband and stuff, and like, most people when they're they give you signs, and usually the family can pick up on that, and I guess you're probably beating yourself up now because you didn't pick up on those signs. He probably tried to tell you and you just didn't get it. So he's trying to play the guilt card, lower her defenses, whatever. He says, okay, I'll tell you what, why don't you just come out and fight? We'll even play fair. He puts the gun down, backs away, says it's loaded. I'll give you exactly 1 minute to try to get this gun. She doesn't, because like she's not an idiot. He could have another weapon on him. She doesn't know. Like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Anyway, it's like, oh, okay, you're a coward, are you? There's a hair in my mouth. That's fun. You're a coward, are you? Why did I tell you that? I hate cowards, like your husband, and just really start trying to egg her on to come out. Anyway, she doesn't. So finally he fucks off, and she keeps moving again. So that's great. I can't remember if I mentioned that part of the thing was called The Night. But anyway, that's that chapter. So that's fun. So whatever. If I didn't, oops. And if I did, great. I don't know. It doesn't really actually matter. Because now we have our final chapter, and it's called The Clearing. So super, super exciting. Anyway, wakes up the next AM. Finally, the rain stopped. I forgot to mention it started pouring, by the way. So all that stupid crap about him like trying to egg her on was in the rain. That's, a thing. Anyway, rain stopped, and time to head out, and there's just some ambient shots which are really nice, like where you hear just the sounds of nature and stuff, which is cool. Like that sound that like tall thin trees make in the wind, where they just kind of creak and there's no other real noise at all. I love that, by the way. So there's that's cool. A little ear candy for myself. Anyway, she hears that fucking Jeep again and sees him drive by on that dirt road and stop, and opens the back hatch and pulls Robert's body out and goes off and starts digging him a grave. So, I mean, at least he's being, respectful, burying him, whatever. More like hiding the evidence, but, we gotta throw him a bone, I guess. Anyway, she takes this opportunity to run to his vehicle in the hopes that maybe his keys are still in it. They're not, spoiler alert. And as he finishes up, quick thinking Jessica's like, okay, so she just climbs over the seats and hides in the back. So that's cool. I mean, it kind of is. It's sort of works out in her favor because he doesn't realize it. She didn't find the keys, by the way, but she did find his phone, which comes in handy shortly. So she's hiding in the back. She also notices in the back there's that tire iron, so she's like, excellent. Anyway, eventually she's like, hey, I've had enough of this crap. She pops out and smokes him in the head with the tire iron, starts choking him out, holding his arm back with the tire iron, and the Jeep is like going crazy. Anyway, it ends up like crashing and flipping onto its roof, and despite the fact that he's probably seat belted and she's not, she gets the lesser of the damage. So she comes to first and crawls out, and as she's crawling out, I forgot to mention, in the back seat before she attacked, she made another 911 call on his phone and was just whispering repeatedly, like, trace this call, trace this call, trace this call. Anyway, fast forward back to where we left off. Helicopter flies over. I guess they traced that call and zeroed in on its GPS location or whatever. They can do that. It's crazy. Anyway. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go this way. It looks like the forest is thinning out. There's probably clearing there. Perfect. She does exactly that, and there is exactly that. She ends up into like a forestry cleared area. So it's like muddy and shitty looking, because that's what happens, I guess, when you cut down all the trees and have a bunch of like treaded vehicles driving through. Anyway, it's pretty barren. That's going to be the best place to wait for the helicopter to return. Perfect. Then she gets a great idea. You know what? I have his phone still. Let's fuck with him a little bit. So what does she do? She calls his wife. Little girl picks up. Hi, Daddy. Hi, can I talk to your mother, please? Ooh, Mom, some woman wants to talk to you. It's like, hello? He's like, you know where your husband is or whatever? And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, she basically tells him everything, like, kidnapped me, assaulted me, killed a man, blah, 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 blah. As he's coming out of the clearing, she's like, if you don't hear from me again, my name is Jessica, whatever her last name is, and the man that he killed was named Robert, and people are probably already looking for him as well. And if this is the last that you hear of me, your husband has killed me. Hey, you want to talk to your wife? Throws the phone. She has the tire iron, by the way, so smart thinking. He picked up the phone. The wife is like, what the hell? Is this some kind of a joke? Like, what is going on? What the hell? And anyway, he just grabs the phone and he's like, yeah, I just need to take care of something. And she's like, are you there? And he's like, bye, and hangs up. It's cold. Anyway, they have a scuffle in the mud. Good times, right? Super sexy mud fight. It's basically tire iron versus knife. He has the knife, she has the tire iron. She hits him a couple of really good times. He cuts her leg. She knocks the knife out of his hand, ends up basically stabbing him after biting his arm, like a chunk out of it. And he dies as the helicopter flies over, and then that's the end of the film. So, she lived. Thoughts? Well, it's the Pacific Northwest, so it's pretty. I mean, it's just a pretty region. Whether you're like as far south as like Oregon or Northern California, or as far north as like Northern BC, it's a beautiful area. So, needless to say, excellent scenery. As I mentioned in the spoiler part, there's like some ambient shots, and then there's like that one where you can really hear the audio ambience, like the creaking of the trees and the wind. I love that noise. It's just so peaceful, and I don't know, it was awesome. That stuff's good. As far as the actual story goes, somewhat unique regarding, why she's, on the road in the first place and what led up to her deciding to do so, which I'm not going to spoil in the non-spoilers part, but anyway, that's okay. The actor who played Dick Balls or whatever, I don't remember his name. Sam. His name was Sam. So the guy who plays Sam is pretty solid at being creepy as hell. So props to that actor, whoever his name is. Acting was fine for the most part. The flow is, it's a little slow, but I mean it's a pretty isolated style movie. Like there are two characters really, and like a minor character, and that's it. So whatever. I mean, it's more about building the atmosphere. It's not like a non-stop thrill ride of fun and excitement. It's just like it's a realistic build-up that grounds you, I guess you could say. It's one of those movies where, while I enjoyed it as I was watching it, I don't feel like I'll need to watch it again. So take that as you may. Do I think you should watch it once, though? I would say are you into kind of slow burn, more like suspenseful type stuff? Because there's like not a lot of gore and violence. I mean, there's some violence, but not like anything like, it's not like a horror movie. Would it be a thriller? I don't really know. But if you're okay with that kind of stuff and you want a different style movie from your normal kind of, I assume if you're watching this, you like kind of like dark cinema type stuff. So, you know, it's a little bit different than the usual film that I would review, if that helps your decision at all. But it's still enjoyable. It's not super long. I think it's like an hour and a half, or like an hour and a half and a few minutes, whatever. So it's not like you're gonna, even if you don't really think it's anything special, you're not gonna sit there thinking, oh man, I want my hour and a half back. It's just like, okay, well, that was adequate. But no, I shouldn't say adequate. It was good. Like, it was enjoyable. It just, I don't feel like it'll have any replay value for me. So because of that, the rating, what am I rating this guy? I'm gonna give it, I think a 5.33 seems like a nice area for this one to be left at. Not phenomenal, not really something you watch again, but not regrettable. It's one of those, you know, see it once and you're content. That's what I got. So that was Alone 2020. Well, one of the one with that poster, because like I said, there's a couple of different Alones from 2020. So that's the one. And I guess we'll leave it there because I'm rambling now. I'm talking about stuff that doesn't even matter. So if you stuck around till now, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll call it a day. All right. Adios.